Hello everybody, it's Tarun. Welcome to your 8th tutorial in the Signal System and Control course. In the last tutorial we learned the continuous time Fourier series representation and the frequency response of complex LTI system with complex exponentials. Okay, so in this tutorial we'll learn about properties of continuous time Fourier series and discrete time Fourier series representation. Okay, now let's start with the properties. The first property which we are going to learn is linearity property. Okay, so let us say that we have a signal xt whose Fourier series representation are or Fourier coefficients are ak, and for yt it is bk. Okay, and these are two periodic signals who have time period t, and we have third signal zt which is a linear combination of xt and yt. Okay, and is also periodic with time period capital T. So if we find out the Fourier series representation of z of t, then it will be a of k plus b of k. Okay, so this is the linearity property of Fourier continuous time Fourier series. Okay, now let's see the proof. Let us consider the z of t as Fourier's coefficient ck. So ck will be 1 upon t integration over time period t z of t e to the power minus j k omega naught t dt. Okay, here I can replace z of t with a x of t plus b y of t. Okay, then I can break it into two parts, and I can take out a and b from them individually, and this term, okay, will be ak and this term is bk. Okay, so this is the proof of linearity property. Second property which we are going to learn is time shifting property. Okay, we are considering xt whose Fourier series representation is ak, and when we shift the signal by say t naught value, x of t minus t naught, and considering its Fourier series representation of Fourier coefficients as bk, then it will be equal to ak into e to the power minus j k omega naught, and instead of t we write the magnitude of shift, okay, which is t naught here. So the magnitude of ak and bk is same. It is observation of this property. So now let's see the proof. Bk equals to 1 upon t integration x of t minus t naught e to the power minus j k omega naught t. Okay, we are replacing tau with t minus t naught, so it will become something like this, and from this we can take out the term e to the power of minus j k omega naught t naught, which is the constant term. Okay, so we will get this, and this term, it is x of it is the Fourier series representation of x of t, which is ak, so it will be e to the power minus j k omega naught t naught ak. Okay, so now let's see the third property, which is time reversal property. In the time reversal property, we replace the independent variable t with minus t. Okay, so we are considering x of t has Fourier series ak, then x of minus t which is having Fourier series bk will be equals to a of minus k. Okay, so if x of the observations of this property is that if x of t is even, then Fourier series coefficients are also even, which means that a of minus k will be equals to a of k. If x of t is odd, then Fourier series coefficients will also be odd, which means that a of minus k will be equals to minus a of k. So now let's see the proof of this property. Okay, here bk is equals to 1 upon t integration over time period t, which we are taking in this case minus t by 2 to t by 2, x of minus t to the power minus j k omega naught t dt. Okay, so I have replaced I have replaced minus t with tau. Okay, so I'll get minus outside and this term inside, so I can write it in this form, which is the Fourier series of a minus k. So you can see that a bk is equals to a of minus k. So the next property is time scaling. In the time scaling property, we multiply the independent variable with some scalar quantity. Okay, here we are multiplying, let's say, our variable t with alpha, where alpha is greater than 0. So the time period changes from t to t by alpha, and fundamental frequency changes from omega naught to alpha omega naught. Okay, so these are the changes in the properties of the function where in the time scaling. And for Fourier series representation, the Fourier series representation of this function remains same. You can see that x of alpha t equals to k of minus infinity to infinity summation ak e to the power j k alpha 2 pi by t into t. Okay, here 2 pi by capital T is alpha omega naught. So it is just a change in the frequency only and no change in ak. Then you can see that the Fourier series representation of a signal remains same when time scaling property is applied to it. Okay, time scaling property only changes the period and frequency of the signal. Now let's see the next property, which is multiplication property. We are considering signal xt and yt having Fourier series representation as ak and bk respectively, and they both have time period t, and we are considering third signal z of t, which is xt into yt and is periodic with the time period t, capital T. Okay, then the Fourier series representation of xt yt, which is z of t, will be ck, and it is equals to the convolution of ak and bk. So this is the convolution summation l equals to minus infinity to infinity al b of k minus l. Okay, it is the discrete time convolution, which is the convolution sum. So now let's see the proof of this property. Okay, we have ck equals to this, and now we are putting the value of xt and yt here. Okay, we can take out both the ak and bk terms outside, and summation terms 1 and 1 upon t is common. Then integration e to the power j k1 plus k2. Okay, k1 plus k2 minus k remains, and here I have replaced k2 with k minus l. Okay, so I have replaced l equals to k minus k2, and you can see that it is this term remaining, and you can see that this is the convolution sum of what the two signals, the two Fourier coefficient of the two signals x t and yt. Okay, so now let's see the next property, which is conjugation and conjugate symmetry property. We are considering the signal xt having Fourier series representation ak, then the conjugate x star t will have Fourier series representation a minus k star. Okay, the observations or implications of this property is that if xt is real, then xt equals to x star of t, which is x conjugate of t, and then ak will be equals to a star minus k. Okay, and if it is imaginary, then xt will be equals to minus x star of t, then ak will be equals to minus ak a star minus k. Okay, so this is general graph of this property, that for a signal xt you can have these four parts. The real part can have even part and odd part, as I told you in the first tutorial, even parts and odd parts of a signal. Okay, any signal can be broken into even part and odd part, and the imaginary part will also have even part and odd part. Then the Fourier series of real even will be real even, and the Fourier series of imaginary even will be imaginary even. Okay, but the Fourier series of real odd will be imaginary odd, and the Fourier series of imaginary odd will be real odd. Okay, so this is something important. You must remember this thing, because it will help you in the assignment. Okay, so the next property is Parseval's relation. This is the most important property you can say in this course, because with the help of this property you can solve the questions directly. Okay, for this property, we in the Fourier series, it is defined as x of t has Fourier series representation as ak, then 1 upon t integration over one time period xt square dt. It is the energy of the signal in one time period. It is equals to summation of Fourier series square, the modulus of Fourier series square over minus infinity to infinity. Okay, so here you can see that this is done in the with this manner. Okay, and it shows that the average total power of the signal is sum of the average powers in all its harmonic components. It is certain statement regarding this Parseval's relation. Okay, just a statement about total power. So the next topic which we are going to learn in this tutorial is Fourier series representation of discrete time periodic signals. Okay, so for discrete time periodic signals we consider fundamental period n and fundamental frequency omega naught, which is 2 pi by capital N, and we have a signal x of n where some x of n equals to summation k equals to minus k equals to n. Okay, in angular braces. It means that it is defined from defined over the time period n. Okay, and it is ak e to the power j k omega naught n, and the Fourier series of this signal is ak equals to 1 upon n summation n equals to angular braces n, which is over one time period n, x of n e to the power minus j k omega naught n. Okay, and you can see that we have also replaced omega naught with 2 pi by n. Okay, in many books or in many teachers use that this way more frequently. Okay, these ways where they replace omega naught with 2 pi by capital N. Okay, its proof is similar to the proof which I told you in the continuous time Fourier series representation. Okay, so I am not going to explain it. This is homework for you. You have to do it yourself. Okay, the shorthand notation of Fourier series is same for both discrete time and for continuous time Fourier series representation. Okay, and AK is the Fourier series coefficient or spectral coefficient. So there are some differences in continuous time case and discrete time case Fourier series representations. Okay, first one is that discrete time Fourier series is finite. Okay, in the continuous time we were defining it from minus infinity to infinity, but in the discrete time we are defining it over the time period n. Okay, so it is written only in this scientific language. Okay, so there was the issue of convergence with Fourier continuous time Fourier series representation. Okay, there is no such issue with discrete time Fourier series representation. Okay, Fourier series representation of discrete time Fourier series representation always exists. Okay, and AK is equals to AK plus n, where n is the fundamental period, since phi k n equals to phi k plus n. Okay, this is your phi k function, which is the complex exponential of the discrete time Fourier series representation. Okay, if I replace k with k plus capital N, then it will become e to the power j 2 pi k by n into e to the power j okay, here small n is also there, e to the power j into 2 pi n. Okay, this term, it is always equals to 1. Okay, then phi k plus n of n will be equals to phi k of n. Okay, there is a remark related with this discrete time Fourier transform, is that this Fourier transform, okay, or the set of coefficients AK is commonly referred as n point discrete Fourier transform, because the signal x of n is 0 outside 0 to n. Okay, and in MATLAB there is a algorithm for fastly calculating this discrete time Fourier transform, which is also called fast Fourier transform. Okay, and it is very important in the digital signal processing, which needs this core signal system and control as its prerequisite. Okay, so this is something of knowledge I need to tell you about. Okay, now let's move forward. So this is the example, okay, where the signal is defined between n1 minus n1. Okay, so the Fourier series representation AK will be this. Okay, and you can go ahead and solve it. You'll get this result, and you can plot AK with K. So Xn corresponds already to a finite number of Fourier coefficient. So there is no Gibbs phenomenon in discrete time Fourier transform and no convergence issues. So now let's see the properties of discrete time Fourier series. Okay, the summary table is given in textbook, which is table 3.2, and it has similarities to continuous time case in all the properties. Okay, and there is just a difference between this and continuous time Fourier transform Fourier series representation in multiplication and Parseval relation. So now let's see the multiplication property. X of n has Fourier series AK, Y of n has BK, and these are two periodic signals with period n. Okay, and we are considering Z of n as X of n into Y of n, which is periodic with period n, and Z of n's Fourier series CK will be equals to AL B of K minus L summation of over one time period. Okay, it is also convolution, but it is over one time period, but in continuous time case it was over minus infinity to infinity. Okay, and now let's see the Parseval's relation. In Parseval's relation, again the energy for one time period, okay, multiplied with 1 upon n is equals to summation over one time period AK square. Okay, AK is the Fourier series coefficient of X of n. Okay, and this was all from my side in this tutorial. In the next tutorial we'll learn about frequency responses and filters. Okay, so thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next tutorial.